It is everybody's business to be aware of the hazards related to forklifts and the requirements for operating them safely. Learn the following principles of forklift safety. Only a trained and authorized operator can drive a forklift. A qualified operator has been fully trained and evaluated in OSHA's required training topics, knows the general design and function of the vehicle, and knows the safety inspection and safety driving rules. Operators can only drive forklifts if they have been assigned to use. Your training covers the operation of the type of truck that you will be assigned to operate. You will need additional training to operate a different type of truck. Be responsible for the cleanliness, maintenance, and security of the truck that you have been assigned to drive. Operating a forklift takes skill, mechanical knowledge, knowledge of workplace hazards, compliance with safety rules, and defensive driving under unique conditions. If at any time your forklift is found to be in need of repair, defective, or in any way unsafe, the truck must be taken out of service until it has been restored to safe operating condition. You can prevent accidents by following safety driving rules. Remember the following rules of the road. Do not allow anyone to stand or pass under raised forks, whether loaded or empty. Only loads that are within the truck's rated capacity can be handled. When you are using an attachment to handle a load, keep the load within the attachment's rated capacity. Only manufacturer-approved safety platforms can be used to lift people. If the forklift needs to be used in a hazardous, classified location, it must be approved for the hazard. Watch where you are going. Drive in reverse with the load trailing if the object obstructs your view. Keep a clear view of your path and look the direction that you are traveling. Never drive up to anyone standing in front of a bench or other fixed objects. Allow no riders. Always keep your arms or legs within the truck. Placing them between the uprights of the mast or outside the running lines of the truck is not allowed. Keep the load close to the ground while you drive. Raise the forks only as much as you need so that you clear the road surface. Tilt the load back slightly to stabilize and against the backrest. Obey speed limits. Slow down for wet and slippery floors. Slow down for turns. Keep the forklift under control so that you can stop it safely. Slow down and sound the horn at cross aisles and other locations where vision is obstructed. Maintain a safe distance of about 3 truck lengths from the truck that you are following. Do not allow stunt driving or horseplay, and avoid running over loose objects. Stay within the rated capacity of dock boards and bridge plates. Make sure they are secure before you drive onto them. Keep a safe distance from the edge of any elevated dock, ramp, or platform. While using the forklift to load and unload highway trucks, use mechanical dock locks or set the brakes and use the wheel blocks to keep the truck and the trailer from moving. Use fixed jacks to support semi-trailers that are not coupled to a tractor. Check the floor for brakes weaknesses before you drive the forklift inside. Do not use the truck to open or close freight doors. When you get off of the forklift temporarily and remain within 25 feet of it and the forklift remains in your view, lower the forks, put the controls in neutral, and set the brakes. Lock the wheels if the truck is on an incline. If you will be leaving the forklift 25 or more feet away or at any time will be out of your view, shut the power off too. Part of OSHA's emphasis on training is that operators need specific information on the types of trucks they will operate in the workplace environment where the trucks are used. When operators are sent outside of the facility for training, or when an outside trainer is hired to come in and present a training program, the employer has to make sure that the site-specific information is given to the operators. When the new employees will be operating forklifts, some of the operator training that have been received from the previous employer may not need to be repeated, but site-specific information on the trucks and workplace will probably be required. Operators must be familiar with their trucks and the areas that they are used. The OSHA regulation outlines several forklift-related topics, operating instructions, warnings, and precautions for the type of trucks the operator will be authorized to operate. Differences between the truck and the automobile. Truck controls and instrumentation, where they are located, what they do, and how they work. Engine and motor operation, steering and maneuvering, visibility, including restrictions due to loading. Fork and attachment adaptation, operation, and use limitations. Vehicle capacity, vehicle stability, Any vehicle inspection and maintenance the operator will be required to perform. Refueling and/or charging and recharging of batteries. Operating limitations. Any other operating instructions, warnings, or precautions listed in the operator's manual for the types of vehicles that the employee is being trained to operate. The regulation also requires training in several workplace-related topics: surface conditions and where the vehicle will be operated, ramps and other slope surfaces that could affect the vehicle's stability, compositions of loads to be carried and load stability, load manipulation, stacking and unstacking, pedestrian traffic in areas where the vehicle will be operated, narrow aisles and other restricted areas where vehicle will be operated, hazardous classified locations where the vehicle will be operated, closed environments and other areas where insufficient ventilation or poor vehicle maintenance could cause buildup of carbon monoxide or diesel exhaust, other unique or potentially hazardous environmental conditions in the workplace that could affect safe operation. Compared to driving a car, operating an industrial truck with a large load leaves the driver with limited forward visibility. Industrial trucks have rear-wheel steering, which makes the back end of the truck swing wide during a turn. Compared to cars, forklifts have different centers of gravity and balance. The center of gravity shifts as the load is raised and lowered. The controls for operating an industrial truck are different. Industrial trucks can carry heavier loads with the weight concentrated at one end. Being familiar with the truck's controls and instruments is crucial to safe operation. Unintentional or mistaken operation of controls can cause serious accidents. Instrument readings give the operator and maintenance people important information about the condition of the truck. On each type of truck you operate, know where the controls and instruments are located, what they do, and how they work. Industrial trucks are usually powered by gasoline, diesel fuel, LP gas, propane, or electric battery. Having a basic understanding of how your truck is powered helps you better understand the truck's capabilities and limitations. For example, an electrically operated motor may not have enough power to lift heavy loads that a diesel truck can. Or, the exhaust generated by an internal combustion engine may limit the truck to outside jobs where there is enough fresh air. Industrial trucks usually have rear-end steering. This helps with the maneuvering of the truck, but also makes the truck's back end swing wide during a turn. Because the trucks are frequently driven in reverse, the driver must be comfortable steering and maneuvering while looking towards the back of the truck. Understand the steering controls for the type of truck you will be operating so that you can maneuver the truck safely. Loads on the front of an industrial vehicle can easily restrict the vision of the operator. This is why it is very common for the operator to look to the rear of the truck and drive in reverse. Always look in the direction that the truck is traveling. Industrial truck operators also must watch for overhead obstacles and make sure there is enough clearance around the load. The driver has to check the truck's blind spots to the sides and rear. In some situations, the driver's lack of good visibility requires the truck to be guided by someone acting as a spotter. The spotter must observe from a safe area where the load and obstructions can clearly be seen. Trucks can be equipped with or modified to accept attachments that allow it to move an odd-shaped material or to do jobs that were not considered when the truck was designed and manufactured. Many of these attachments are added to a vehicle by the dealer or the employer. Any additions or modifications that affect the truck's capacity, stability, or safe operation have to be approved by the truck's manufacturer with the truck's nameplate revised to show the changes. Using attachments can cause restrictions or limitations to the operation of the truck that the operator must be aware of. Whenever the truck is equipped with an attachment, even without carrying any load, the truck must be operated as being partially loaded. Consider the weight of the attachment, the capacity of the truck, and the change of the truck's center of gravity due to the attachment. Only the loads that are within the rated capacity of the truck can be handled. The capacities are found on the truck's nameplate. Typically, there are limitations as to how much weight can be handled, how high the load can be raised, and how far the load's center of gravity can be from the truck's vertical load rest. It is crucial to know the capacities of the type of truck you operate. Because the center of gravity shifts when the load is raised, the truck is less stable with a raised load. Moving an unstable truck can result in a tip over. Operators should always keep the load at the lowest practical point before moving the truck. Many serious injuries and fatalities result from tip overs. To reduce the chance and severity of injury during a tip over, the operator of a sit-down rider truck should stay with the vehicle and lean away from the direction of the fall. The normal tendency would be for the person to jump off while the truck is tipping over, but the driver often lands on the floor in the path of the overhead guard and is crushed. On the other hand, the drivers of a stand-up rider truck should step off the rear of the truck during the lateral tip over. It is very important to understand the stability characteristics of the type of truck that is being used. Proper inspection and maintenance helps keep forklifts operating safely. Inspect the forklift for damage, defects, and unusual conditions. An inspection must be performed before operating the forklift each day, after each shift when it is used around the clock. These inspections are not required to be documented in writing, although many companies do use the standard forklift inspection form to perform and document the inspection. If at any time a powered industrial truck is found to be in need of repair, defective, or in any way unsafe, the truck is to be taken out of service until it is restored to a safe condition. There are always hazards associated with the refueling or charging and recharging of batteries. Gasoline, diesel fuel, LP gas, and propane refueling each present their own health and fire hazards. Charging batteries exposes workers to hazardous acids. Recharging batteries involves electric hazards, heat buildup, and the generation of hazardous gas. You must be aware of all the hazards involved in refueling and battery handling operations. Follow all of the precautions needed to control the hazards. Flames, sparks, or electric arcs are to be prevented in battery charging areas. Smoking is not allowed. Tools and other metallic objects are to be kept away from the top of uncovered batteries. Each type of truck has its own operating instructions, warnings, precautions, and limitations. Many of the forklift's rules of the road that were covered earlier apply to any workplace, but operators need specific information on the types of loads that are handled, typical pedestrian traffic routes, and any hazards that are unique to the facility. Evaluations and refresher training can be triggered by accidents, near misses, assignments to different types of trucks, changes in the work environment, observations of unsafe operation, and evaluations that reveal the need for retraining. You must have an evaluation at least every 3 years. OSHA allows you to avoid duplication of training. If an evaluation finds that you are competent in any of the related topics, you do not need additional training in those topics.